I'm sitting there looking at all these black people, and nobody said, Cornel West sat right here. Right? We know this couch gets traction. He said it here. He's running for president. Oh,
Dr. Cornel West is a prominent American philosopher, political activist, social critic, author, and public intellectual. Born on June 2, 1953, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, he grew up in Sacramento, California. His mother was a teacher and principal, and his father worked as a general contractor for the U.S. Department of Defense. West graduated magna cum laude from Harvard University in 3 years and went on to earn his MA and PhD in philosophy from Princeton University. He has held professorships at several prestigious institutions, including Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and Union Theological Seminary. He is best known for his works Race Matters, 1993, and Democracy Matters, 2004, which explore issues of race, democracy, and justice in America. West's philosophy draws from a variety of traditions, including Christianity, the Black Church, democratic socialism, and transcendentalism. In addition to his academic work, West is an outspoken political activist and has been involved in various social justice movements. He is also known for his appearances in documentaries and films, such as the Matrix series, and for his spoken word.
Dr. Cornel West, who launched his bid as a member of the People's Party, and Dr. West joins us now. So, Dr. West, let me start with the obvious question. How are you running to win, or are you running to get your issues of importance that you think Joe Biden is not paying enough attention to the forefront?
Well, I mean, one, my dear brother, that you always have a calling to win. You want to bear witness at the highest level of quality, integrity, and honesty that you can. So, yes, I'm trying to push toward the finish line. Why? Because I want to reintroduce America to the best of itself. And it's fairly clear that Brother Trump, neo-fascist gangster, not the best. Brother Biden, neoliberal hypocrite, not the best. I want the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., Dorothy Day, Abraham Joshua Heschel, and Edward Said, and Chief Joseph, and Grace Lee Boggs, and Louise Marino. These are those fighting for poor and working people. Both parties stand in the way of the empowerment of poor and working people. Both parties tied Wall Street, militarism, Pentagon, tied to Silicon Valley. What about the 60% of precious Americans of all colors who are struggling every day and month to put food on the table and are hardly doing it, while the 1% is simply tied to their quests for the luxurious life? American democracy not just is at stake, the whole planet, Brother Jake. You know that, man, with fossil fuels. And look at the debt ceiling agreement. We can make a deal with Brother Manchin in terms of his pipeline that will do in not just working class people's spaces, but ecological collapse given what's going on the East Coast. But we can't make a deal with him in terms of voting rights in regard to the filibuster. That's Brother Biden. We need something better. Where's the best of the country? Yeah. Not just the working people here, but around the world. Because the militarism abroad is something that I'm deeply concerned about, be it in Latin America, be it in Africa, be it in the Middle East.
So I hear you, but these elections often do come down to a binary choice between the Democrat and the Republican. Dr. Lawrence Tribe, a Harvard University professor, as you were, tweeted, WTF, you know what that stands for. Does Cornel West really want to help the GOP nominee win the way Ralph Nader helped George W. Bush defeat Al Gore in 2000? Please stop this foolishness before you really hurt the things you care to help, unquote. His fear, obviously, that you would sap away enough votes of progressives who otherwise would vote for Joe Biden and thus deliver the White House to the Republican, making things worse than they would be under Biden, in Lawrence Tribe's view. Your response?
Well, one, I mean, Brother Tribe, he's looking at the world again through these Manichaean views. You get either this or that, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, frick or frack. neo-fascist catastrophe, neoliberal disaster? Are disasters better than catastrophes? Absolutely. But are disasters disasters? Absolutely still. So the idea that Brother Trump would reduce, my Brother Tribe would reduce what I'm trying to do and focus on this unbelievable suffering and social misery of poor and working people around the world to some ego vanity. I said, good God Almighty, what are you doing? Do you actually think that the rich legacies of the figures that I talked about can be reduced to their ego vanity when they moved in the electrical political context? Part of the problem is people who believe it's either the Democrats or the Republicans have left out serious discussion of mass incarceration, left out of what's been going on around the world, 800 military bases around the world. From the vantage point of the West Bank, our precious Palestinian brothers and sisters, what does it look like in terms of the bombs dropped by the U.S. government by either party? Same is true with working people in other parts of the world. This is a moral and a spiritual issue. It's not simply narrow strategic thinking of neoliberals who view the world in terms of either Republicans or Democrats. Brother Jake, we will never defeat fascism, which is on the march, by milquetoast neoliberalism. Neoliberalism will only be a caretaking postponement of the fascism. We got to get at the source of it. That's why I'm going straight into Trump country, my brother. I'm talking to some of my white brothers and sisters who are following the neo-fascist Pied Piper. I'm concerned about your suffering. Look another way. The words of Martin King. Let us embrace one another by accenting our best. That includes acknowledging those who right now are on the other side. We want realignment. We want what my dear brother Clifton West calls a paradigm shift in American politics. That's in part what this is about, my brother.
Let me ask you just a practical question. Where do the People's Party, where will you be on the ballot? Will you be on the ballot in Michigan? Will you be on the ballot in Wisconsin? I don't think the People's Party was on the ballot in all 50 states last time. Are you hoping to get on the ballot in every state or even just the battleground states?
We're trying to get on the ballot in every state, which means we've got to get the requisite signatures in each state. We are in process of ensuring to make sure we get on that ballot. As you know, People's Party broke away from Brother Bernie's attempt in 2016. So we're very new at this in that regard. But most importantly, we just want to make sure that our fellow citizens get a chance to see what the best of America is about. The best of America and the best of any nation is about fighting for poor and working people, no matter what color, gender, sexual orientation, and not just confining it to the states. I'm talking about solidarity with Iranians dealing with fascist Iranian elites. I'm talking about solidarity with workers in Brazil. I'm talking about solidarity with workers in Guatemala. This is an international project, my brother. That's what Martin Luther King was concerned when he said the bombs dropped in Vietnam fall in ghettos and hoods and barrios and poor white sections. We have got a professional managerial class that has turned its back too often for the plight of the most vulnerable. That's my tradition. That's what this campaign is all about, my brother.
So, Dr. West, I have a ton more questions, but we're out of time. You can see we're on the clock. Come back. I'm going to just cut and paste, and we're going to ask these questions about your policies and your platforms next time you're here. Open invitation. We love having you on.
God bless your loved ones, man.
You too as well, Dr. West. Thank you so much for joining us.